About 41% of women and 26% of men experienced contact sexual violence, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner and reported an intimate partner violence-related impact during their lifetime. Injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, symptoms, concern for safety, fear, needing help from law enforcement, and missing at least one day of work are common impacts reported. Abuse isn't always physical. The forms of control are isolation, degradation, manipulation, and gaslighting. It's not always easy for victims to speak up. Be their voice, listen, and believe them. This is her story.
I haven't watched the TikToks in quite some time. They just kept getting sent to me, like my nephew, and then my little sister. She was messaging me last week, and so when my nephew kept sending them to me, I went and I kind of like I was watching them, and it's just embarrassing. So the real reason why I didn't like really want to you know or why I don't even say anything on there is because I am personally, I'm embarrassed that I dated him because of who I am, the woman I am. Like but like I know better, right? So, but and I'm very embarrassed to say this, but when you love somebody, you put up with certain stuff, or you try to help the person. But I will say to anybody listening, or when you guys notice red flags, don't second guess yourself. Like I could have spared myself a lot of stuff that I went through. I could have spared myself had I just listened to myself. Um, but I would, instead of like rambling on about what I went through, I would like to first answer some of the questions that you guys might have. Um,
Okay. Sorry. So I just wanted to thank you for also taking the time to speak with us. I understand how hard it can be sharing your story, and we really appreciate that you coming to answer some of our questions. And we want this to be a safe place for you, and we understand that some people have taken that away. However, today we did take like some extra precautions so that only the people who are listening in today is someone that every one of the moderators in this chat, as well as Leah, trusts. So anyone else who's not a part of that group is not listening in. Um, Everyone else will be muted. It'll only be me and you talking. And at the end, there's a chat on the side. And if you would like to answer some of the questions that some of the chat has, you can answer some of them as well if you're up for it.
okay.
So I guess we can just begin by asking, like, can you give us a background on your relationship with John? Like, when did you first start dating him? How long were you together? What was your relationship with him like? And things of that nature.
Gosh. So Sean, he started messaging me on Instagram, and he asked me to. So like he was messaging me on Instagram for a while, or liking all my pictures or whatnot. And then I think he asked me to go to the gym. Um, and that didn't happen. I kind of forgot for what reason or whatever, but that was the first like kind of like invite. And then so he used to claim that he did photography. So he always walked around with a camera, or a camera bag or whatever. Um, and so he said he was working at one of the clubs downtown. And well, like I said, I keep to myself, so I always go out by myself. Like I always go out by myself. I love to dance or whatever. So I was already always out. Um, So he invited me to one of the bars downtown that he was um, supposed to be like doing pictures for the bar or whatever. And so I went there and he wasn't there. And when I left, he was, I saw him outside and I like kind of kept walking. I knew who he was, but I didn't want to talk to him. But he chased me down. And so that was that. That was our initial face to face encounter. Um, and then after that, um, I think he took me, I forgot which one was first. Either Marie Callender's was our first date or pho. We went to get pho. Um, but it wasn't, anything special. And then after that, he took me ice skating. So he kind of like who he really is, he can mask it very well. He can mask who he really is very well. Like you would think that he's this like kind, sweet, nice guy, but he's really not. Like Sean's the worst person I've ever met in my entire life. So prior to him, I was married. I was married for 7 years, and I divorced my ex-husband, and then like I spent 4 years single. So after being single for that time and like rebuilding my life and really like loving on myself, Sean was my first freaking relationship, and I was so mad. I was so mad at God. Like I was like, this is what you give me. I waited 4 years, and this is what you give me. But at the end of it, I realized and I understood that there was a lesson in it. So, you know, um, and as for the year, just before my 30th birthday, so November of 2019, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend on my 30th birthday. So I am 33. Me and Sean, we only lasted a few months because I found out that he was, so we talked, for a while, but as far as like an actual relationship, it did not last long because he was cheating. Some girl hit me up on Instagram. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot. Oh my gosh. I already feel like I'm rambling. There's so much.
You're okay.
There's so much. So in April, I believe, I want to say March or April. I want to say March or April. A girl messaged me on Instagram and told me that Sean was still having sex with her. So a little backstory about that, and I will go back to what I said. When you, I don't know, when you feel that something is speaking to you, listen to it. Um, I was trying to give the benefit of doubt. So Sean said, I would have expected Sean to be staying in the barracks or like having roommates, right? Because he was in the military. He was in the military.
Right.
Um, I would have expected him to be staying in the barracks because he's young, he's not married. Well, not that I knew. I was under the impression that he used to be married. Um, I don't remember him talking too much about that, but I recently seen some stuff and like pieced together some things, but I'll get to that in a moment. Um, But anyways, he said he lived with this girl, her mom and grandma, and um, the, he just said he lived with a bunch of people, and but was in like the girlfriend's boyfriend or something. Like he made it seem like he was just like paying rent in a house. He was lying the entire time. He was fucking this girl. This girl is the girl that he was seeing before he met me, but while he met me, if that makes sense. And this is a pattern. This is a pattern. This is how Sean moves. He did the same thing when he was talking to me with multiple other women. So it is a pattern. It is his nature. So he finds, like, when he can't like get his way, or like if it's not going to work out how he wants to, he finds another victim, but he doesn't stop talking to the last person, if that makes any sense.
Meaning, so he could possibly still be talking to one of his exes right now while he's talking to or with Shanice and Olivia?
I mean, well, that would have been me, and he's tried it, like, but I'm not fucking interested. I have text messages. Sean, the night, so you Leah messaged me on my birthday, and I was yeah, on my birthday. Yeah, on my birthday, and I was out with my son. Me and my son, we went to dinner and a movie, and I get hit up with this, and I I messaged him immediately, and he knows, like, I was not fucking playing with him. I'm not the one. So he was like, I put a little bit of fear in him uh, when that night, and he did not want me like talking it, and I was like, because I thought that it was me that the girl's talking about, but then again, I was like, I don't even have anything over there, so she can't be talking about me, like talking about shoes and walking in my shoes. I'm not the ex that Shanice was talking about. And that girl that she was talking about is not his ex. She is somebody that he was fucking, but they were never boyfriend and girlfriend, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. So, but from the message that I was sent, and, I'm like, I didn't have anything to go off, but what was they were coming to me saying or whatever. And so I kind of like went off on him, and I was like, and I'll sue her for defamation of character. I was telling him all kind of shit, but I was dead ass serious. Um, so yes, he does still be trying to talk to other girls while he's in a relationship. Is he doing that now to other people? I have no idea. But while he's been talking to Shanice, has he been? Sean sends me pictures of myself all the time. Or if he's not sending me pictures of myself, he's sending pictures of us, and I'm like, can you please delete these? And he'd be like, no, never. I'm like, you're fucking weird. Like, just delete it. Stop. And or I'll have to ask him, can you please stop sending me pictures? Like, I know what I look like. Like, why do you still have it? It's weird. So, but anyways, um, yeah.
Well, okay, you said you pieced some stuff together from the
The
what?
marriage. So he said that he was married, and all he told me was that the girl started like, she was like, he said, oh, she took me for everything, she took everything that I had, blah blah blah. We got into it, and she was hitting me, and I just knew something of a fight. And then when um he went somewhere, she took like everything he had. That's the only thing I knew about that. And I didn't really like try to go, I didn't get invasive about it, because sometimes it could be a touchy, divorce can be touchy. Um, so yeah, but then I think I watched my nephew like sent me the brother the brother, I guess the brother came out telling some stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense. But Sean's a fucking liar. That girl wasn't just hitting you. You were putting your hands on her. You were putting your hands on her. And like that is only gonna go for so long if you got the right one.
Right. So, okay. So you were talking about like your intuition. Were there any like specific red flags that you noticed when you were in the relationship with him? Like,
Yeah, yes, that's so that is not so I'm not talking about my intuition when I tell you when I said that. I'm not talking about intuition, but it is a part of your intuition. Like there were actual red flags that I ignored. Does that make is
yeah.
that better?
Yeah. So can you give us like some detail on what the red flags were that you ignored?
Well, for one, when he was saying that, he lived with all those people, and it was like girl and her grandma and her mother. But me, I'm like, I don't want to I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I didn't want to I didn't want to ruin something prematurely, by placing, what do you call it? You know how like when if you've gone through things and then you try to base everything else off of that? I was
Yeah.
trying,
Like you
I
don't want
was,
to think. Sorry.
yeah, I was trying not to do that. I was trying not to do that, but like, my gut feeling about it, I was right. It was, there was something not right about the situation, but I didn't find out that until the girl messaged me. The second red flag, this is the night that I should have stopped talking to Sean. I took Sean to, there's a rooftop bar out here in San Diego, my favorite place to go. And I took him there. And you can go out on this balcony and you can see like the city lights of downtown. So it's a popular area at this place to take pictures. And he asked somebody to take pictures of us, and he was telling them to like get on the ground, like kneel to take the picture. And I myself and the other people were trying to tell him, well, you can't get the background if we're down there. But Sean wants to look. I guess he does that so he can look tall in the pictures. Um, so after they took the pictures and they walked away, Sean was like, "Why can't you just have my back? Why can't you just have my back?" And then he walked off like really fast. And I will never ever forget because it was so weird to me. I'm like, I was kind of like stuck on stupid. Like, what just happened? For me, that was the red flag that I shouldn't have ignored. That was the red flag that I should have like stopped talking to.
So sorry. We see that in his lives as well. Like when Shanice or Olivia does something that he doesn't agree with, you see him like aggressively whispering in their ears, or they have to literally step away from the camera to do whatever. Who knows?
Sean,
So,
There's a live where Shanice was bringing up an ex. I don't know if she was talking about her ex or Sean's ex, but he immediately told her to stop talking about it, and he told her to go in the room, and you can hear him say like very loud, "Do you want me in cuffs?" Like it was like
I saw that.
yeah.
I saw that. So she was about to start. So wasn't she about to like? Wasn't somebody asking her about bringing somebody else into the relationship or something
Yeah,
at that
the
time?
poly relationship. Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Spoken about. The initial discussion was actually no. Uh, another woman. We're just gonna say another woman. I was okay with bringing on board. another woman was not okay with, a poly relationship. That was it. And you're right, my love. Over time, before and during deployment, you got it?
Okay, I think I understand what you were. So, are you bisexual? There sometimes can be a disconnect because bringing on another woman isn't necessarily the issue. It's just like making sure everybody's included, and like being that you guys don't have a
Trust his judgment.
okay.
She was about to start talking about me, and that is false. She wasn't asking, they weren't trying to bring me into the relationship because I was there before Shanice. I was coming through. So they weren't trying to discussing about bringing me into any kind of poly relationship. Because I was there before she was. Did Sean try to get me to agree with that? Or like, yes, he did. And he would be like, oh, why can't you just see that we're better together? Like he would try to like make me feel like some kind of way. Like if if we didn't talk anymore. I don't know how to explain it, but he was trying to make me feel away. It's a kind of like manipulation to keep you there. One thing that I want to get off my chest really quickly, those girls, they're stuck. Even if they wanted to leave, they can't until they're mentally ready to leave and like be serious about it. The moment that they try to walk out of Sean's door, that's when he's going to get physical. That is when he's going to get physical. So right now they just sound like really stupid as fuck, to be honest. And I hate to say that, but that they're stuck with the mindset that they're in right now. They're stuck. And it's gonna take some time for them to like feel like they're ready to go. Maybe Shanice, I'm not sure, but they're stuck. The moment that they try to leave Sean, that's when he's going to get physical. Sean has choked me countless times. I've lost track of how many times now, because of me trying to leave an environment. He's bitten me. I have pictures. Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to say that I'm stupid. It's just like I'm not that kind of person. Like I'm not trying to ruin anybody's life. Like I could have had him put in jail several times, but I'd never called the cops. But the only way that they're going to be able to leave is if they do it when he's not there. And then what's going to happen? If they try to leave when he's not there, he's going to be blowing up their phone, and then talking to him, and then trying to get his trick is, whether in any situation, Sean's trick is to get you face to face, because he thinks that he can master you face to face. So he'll, if they do leave while he's not home, he'll like start blowing up their phone and then get them back over there. And then once he gets them back over there, then he'll try to have sex with them, and then it's going to repeat. They're going to stay and then think everything's all better again. And then from that moment, it's just going to get freaking worse. And then, she might keep leaving. it's a build up until you really get serious about, like, I really don't want to put up this shit. It takes a lot, unfortunately. Especially if you're dealing with it alone, because you don't want to tell anybody about it because it's embarrassing. Takes a long time. But you lose a lot of important people. Like my best friend was gonna stop talking to me because I kept talking to him. She hated his guts. As far as some of the other things that I saw questions about, like the place where he lives, it's not a fucking penthouse. It's just an apartment on a 32nd floor. Like, you guys have, that's his actual address. I seen the address. That's his actual address. Is on the 32nd floor. He has awesome views. But the penthouse is of any apartment is the top. I believe the penthouse of any like a penthouse is like the very top apartment or condo of whatever complex. He's not in the very top. From my understanding, that's what a penthouse is. He's just in a normal apartment. Like, if you make enough, anybody can live there. You guys can even call the freaking place and go get a tour. Like, anybody can live there. His rent, he's been lying about the rent, saying he pays $8,000 a month. No, the fuck he does not. He pays just over $4,000 a month. He's a liar, and he had fake check stubs made to get into there.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's a liar. He lies about everything. He's lazy as fuck. He does not cook. He wants an animal, and if he can't control you, so that's why me and Sean did not work, because he wants somebody who can control. And then he would say that I'm not feminine. I'm very feminine, but what you're not going to do is treat me like a dog. I am not an animal. And then he wanted me to, so like when he was staying at my house, he wanted me to address him as daddy. No, daddy for me? I'm not calling you daddy unless we're in a bedroom. And even in the bedroom, a man has to earn that. Like, I'm not just running around here calling no nigga daddy. Like, no, are you daddy? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just
No. You're okay.
um I'm just saying, like, you don't, that is a bedroom word. So I'm not walking around my place with my son in my house calling you daddy. No, I'm not. That's a bedroom word.
That's
So
ridiculous.
then later on, he was like, he wanted me to be calling him sir, and I'm like, it just felt awkward to me. It didn't feel natural. Like, it is weird. And then I told him, I said how I explained it to him. I said, you want kids, right? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, well, how do you want them to address you? He said, yes, sir, no, sir. And then I said, how do you want them to address me? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I was like, okay, so what did it look like, me, your equal, walking around here calling you sir? Like, it don't make no sense to me. It just didn't feel natural to me. It felt uncomfortable and weird. And then how he would try to, like, if he had company over and he asked me something or asked me to do something, and I didn't say sir, he'd be like, excuse me? Like, and unfortunately, I wasn't the one that was going to be doing that. So he would just get even more mad and then say that I'm disrespectful, and like, he calls the stupidest shit disrespectful. Like, I'm like, how is that disrespectful? It just made no sense. Um, like, if I would go out on the balcony to take a phone call and he'd be like, why are you going outside to talk on the phone? Can someone guess what my response was? No.
Because I can.
Thank you.
Like,
Exactly.
you
Okay.
grown. Like,
So that was, yes, that was my response actually, and it wasn't in an attitudey manner. It wasn't disrespectful. It was just like I was like looking around, like like weird eyes, like because I can. And then he was like, "You know what? Get out. You can leave. You're disrespectful." Like he enjoys like having his own place and then being able to kick me out. Like it made him feel good. So when he first got that place, when Sean first got that place, he wanted me to move in, and I didn't want to move in because if I have a if I have a child, so if I move in and then for whatever reason you get mad because you already act weird and childish already, for whatever reason you get mad and you decide to kick me out, I don't have anywhere to go. Why would I put myself in that predicament? Like he was very upset, and he would throw that in my face later on, because I was still trying to, we decided we were still going to try to like work it out before Shanice got there, whatever. Well, not got there, but before he started talking to a Shanice. So then he would throw that in my face. He'd be like, "She wouldn't even be here if you would have just moved in. I asked you to move in." And okay, I understand that you asked me to move in, but I did not feel comfortable. And I'm glad that I didn't, because look at what you do. Like, it just made him feel good it makes him feel good to belittle women and people in general. Like he has what did so I never heard of a narcissist until I met Sean. But the only reason I heard about narcissists because I started looking up stuff that I was dealing with. Like I would be at work and I would be like that's a damn shame just talking about it. It's funny talking about it, but it's weird talking about it that that you have to do these things. Like a person is really researching stuff that they're going through with you. Like that's weird. Um, but anyways, I would be at work and I would be like typing in stuff, and then I kid you not, every box on this research, he checked the box for a narcissist, and he also matches gosh, is it psychopath?
Maybe sociopath?
Yeah, one of them. It's one of them things. Sociopath, psychopath. One of them. It's one of them. He checks the box. No, narcissist. Yes, narcissist, and the I can't remember if it's a psychopath or sociopath. It's one of those as well.
Sociopath.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, like, was there like a specific situation that happened that made you leave him, or was it like something he said?
That made me leave him.
Yeah.
No, it was just a buildup of things. So like I said, I did like love Sean. So when I heard so what happened with me, like how I ended up like loving him, was I was just trying to show him that like he deserved love. But that's because he told me like some stuff, and I believed it. Like I felt like we had similar background, and I felt his pain. So um like I was abused as a child. Like I grew up like I used to be suicidal. I didn't want to live. I felt like I was born into the wrong family, type shit. So, but I've grown to like love myself and teach love and give love. Like I am I am the epitome of love. Like I am love. Um and I always tried to make him feel loved. And that was his fucking reason for saying he cheated on me. He said that he didn't think people like me existed. Like what? What does that mean? But he told me, so his story was that his mom left him on on somebody's porch. I believe a family member's or babysitter member or somebody, whatever. Don't mock my words, but of whose porch. He just told me that his mother left him on somebody's porch and never came back. And from that point on, he said that he was put in foster care and he was abused, and like they used to take utensils and put it on the fire and put it on his body. They would starve him, and when they did feed him, they had him eating out of dog bowls, and like he told me all kind of sad shit. Um, so, but I didn't know nothing about Sean back then. So that is, I just wanted to show him, kindness, and I wanted to show him love, unfortunately. So, but it's really embarrassing to say that I loved him. Um, but whatever. Uh, but what made me leave him is a buildup of things. Like one, he can't just talk to me. Like I don't want to talk to someone who wants to talk to everybody. Like he's a hoe. He was fucking everybody. It was disgusting. He had no respect for my body. He had no respect for my body. Like he doesn't use condoms. Like, and he was just going around fucking everybody. It's disgusting. Like he has, so in his camera, and he doesn't even know this. He doesn't even know this. Like when he would leave, I would go take the Camry. Like he had all kind of, when he got that apartment that he's in right now, like he was always having like girls come over there, and he was taking pictures of him, and then people are trusting him to take pictures like out at the clubs. He's being a pervert. He like in the camera there's like perverted pictures in there. But anyways, he'd be taking pictures of these girls at his apartment or whatever. There was always, they would always like leave their clothes and shoes and stuff. I don't know, it's a buildup of stuff because I knew that I didn't deserve it, but when you love somebody, it takes a lot of time to leave. And so even though you leave, and I don't know if anybody like in here has gone through it, and it doesn't have to, like, minus the abuse, okay, minus like somebody putting their hands on you, like when you're like going through stuff that you don't want to put up with or you don't deserve, and you guys stop talking, and then you go back, and then it's just like a repetition. Like I'm quite sure we're women, like this is what we do. um so it's a buildup of things, and then that final time you're just like serious about it. For me, I knew that I didn't deserve it, and he was weird. Like I feel like he was jealous of my son. um the last time I was at Sean's house, he would ask me to come spend a night, and when I would come spend a night, he always wanted me to stay like days at a time, so I would bring like a bag of clothes or whatever. And this time that I was over there, it was raining. It was either raining or it was really cold outside, and my son wanted me to come pick him up from basketball practice, and Sean didn't want me to go pick my child up. Excuse me, no, I'm going to get him. And so because I made the choice to go pick my son up, he waited until I was gone, and told me don't come back. And then he invited Shanice over there, and wouldn't allow me to go back and get my laptop and my clothes and stuff. And after that, I was like, I'm not doing this. It's annoying. Um, so that was the last time that I was at his house. It's been like over, soon it'll be 2 years. So it's been a long time. Um, but for me, it was already in the like in my plans. I was already working on stop talking to him and be serious about it, but I was working for him, and he was my only source of income. And I was like, well, why can't I just work for you and we, don't have any like strings attached? And he wouldn't allow that. I'm like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. But he ended up firing me, and so what happened was he gave my, like, while I was still working for him, he gave my duties to Shanice because he was trying to hurt my feelings, and it didn't. And then so he just ended up firing me from his little business. And then after that, all his shit went downhill. Like, he even got sued. He got sued by, they can't talk about it because they signed something. But I can talk about it because I didn't sign anything and I didn't get paid. I was just there for support for the people. And I felt really bad because I kind of like had no clue. I was just trying to support somebody that, I was talking to. But yes, he ended up getting sued for that quote unquote coaching that he was doing. And I guess he's still doing it, but he claims to only be like working with rich people, I guess. I don't know. I don't really follow what he does, but I do know that quite a few people sued him. I mean, I can't speak on what he does now. I don't know what he does now. But what he was doing before, like, he got sued for it. So, I guess they were saying that it was a scam. So he got sued for it. I don't know what he's tweaked or changed or any of that because I don't work for him and I don't talk to him. But he did get sued by quite a few people.
Sorry. I should have said this before, but like anything you're not comfortable sharing, you don't have to share with us. Like, don't be pressured to answer any of our questions.
I'm not. That's something that nobody knows and that he doesn't want people to know because it affects his, But yeah, he got sued. So
So I guess you said he's been texting you. So did he like ever like take responsibility or take accountability for anything that he did? Like, did he apologize or show remorse for anything that has happened between you two, or did he kind of just dismiss it and pretend like nothing happened?
Sean's always very dismissive, and his apologies to me, I just ignore it because it's full of shit. I feel like he apologizes just to get back in good graces or to get somebody talking to him again. I don't think that his apologies are ever sincere. Sean doesn't have any empathy or emotions, none whatsoever. So anything like that coming from Sean is not serious. Now he's left several like voice. You guys probably wouldn't be able to hear it if I played it, but he's left several like voice things saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for you, and I thank you so much." Like, he's sent a few of those. But even if he has apologized to me, I never take it serious or believe him. He's not sorry about shit that he does. But I don't really care for his apology. I don't need his apology. I'm good. Um, I'm happy, and I'm I'm no longer like I want to say stuck, but that's the word that I'm going to use right now. I'm not like in my I'm not like stuck in my head or in my heart about him or anything like that. Like, because I know I deserve better, and he was just a blockage. I think one thing um that talking to Sean helped me with was uh communicating clearly. Um, communication for me was my um he helped me with that. Not him he physically helped me, but I'm saying like talking to him helped my communication with people, if that makes sense. Because I'm pretty quiet and keep to myself. So
Um, okay, so we had a few other questions because just some based on the stuff that we have found. We saw that he was facing 13 years in prison. Do you have any idea of why that was?
so how recent? Like, what was the year on it?
Let me check. Just a second. Oh, it was 2017,
Okay,
April.
so I wouldn't have any idea because I didn't know him. Um, me dating him was pretty much from 2020. So he, like I said, we kind of like was talking very end of 2019, but like the actual dating didn't come in until 2020.
So
And
I'm sorry if you said this already before, but how long were you guys together?
yeah, I did mention it. So he asked me to be his girlfriend on my 30th birthday, which was in 2020. As
Okay.
far as us being an actual couple, it didn't last very long because I found out that I was being cheated on like what 3 4 months later. But we still continued talking. We still continue talking. So when did we stop talking? Let me see something. It's been a long time.
So would you say like around 2021?
Yeah. End of 2021.
So that would
Yes.
have sorry.
Yeah, end of 2021.
So that would have mean that he was talking to you as well as Shanice and Olivia?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him talking to Olivia. Like I said, Sean was talking to a lot of people. So I I don't know.
Yeah, so
Um
they did
and
mention sorry.
yes. Yeah, Sean was talking to a lot of people. He's disgusting. Is he still doing that now that he has two girls living with him? I don't know. He just he's never satisfied, and if you'll let him, like, people are only going to do what you allow. So if they allow him to do this, then he's going to do it. Now if they want to label that poly, then by all means have at it, but that Sean's going to talk to however many people you want, even if you like don't agree with it. He's just disgusting.
And I know when me and you were talking, and I sent you the live of the brother coming out. Um, I know you said that Sean lied about being homeless.
Yeah, I addressed that too. He lived with me. Sean was not homeless. He lived with me. I got pictures. I got my brother who can vouch, and my child. Like, my child is my baby. My child's 16. So, and couldn't stand Sean. um but yeah, he was not homeless. He was not living in his car. He's a liar. He is a liar. He was not homeless. He was living with me. And then when he met and then he'd be saying, "Oh, I've been doing this." How many years he be saying he did this coaching stuff that he'd be like, "I did this 10 years or something." I, well, he's lying because when he was living with me, he was like reading books to do coaching or whatever. So he's a freaking liar. And then that's when he met this guy named Dylan Caudillo, or I don't know how to say his last name, but he met this guy who was doing also like what Sean was interested in doing. And that Dylan guy had a roommate, but that roommate moved out. So then Sean moved from my place into that boy's apartment, also downtown. What's the name of this apartment? Hold on. That's not important, but when I find it, I'll tell you. But my point is, he was never homeless, and he's freaking lying. He is a fucking liar. He's a liar. So and then while he was staying at Dylan's house, he was still in the military. It is my fault that he got kicked out the military. I'll tell you that in a second. But he was living with the Dylan guy, and then we went and like we were looking. So he was going to move into an apartment at those, and then he went and looked at Park 12, which is where he's living now, and we did walkthroughs through multiple apartments, and this is the one that he chose. And like I said, to get in there, he used his real checks from the military, but he also had fake checks made, and that's the only reason that he got that apartment. So you can, even though he probably was making the money to afford the rent there, out here in San Diego, it's freaking stupid. So you have to make, like right now, I would like to move, but you have to make 3 times the rent. Like what regular person makes that kind of money, right? So if your rent is, let's say, let's just use his rent. So if your rent is like $4,050, you have to make 3 times that. So even though he could actually afford that rent a month, he probably wasn't actually making 3 times that. So he had fake checks made to make it look like he was making that money. And that's the only reason that he got that. I'm sorry if I lost you, but did you get it? But yeah, he doesn't pay $8,000 a month for rent. Like, why are you lying? But it is his place. It's not an Airbnb. It's not shared. He's renting at Park 12, and he put his stupid ass put his address on social media for everybody to see. So that's his fault. He used to have a Tesla. I don't know if he still has it because I haven't seen or talked to him in a long time, but he went out and got a Tesla after he got that apartment. Whether he gave it back or not, I don't know. But he had a Volkswagen. He was driving a Volkswagen before he had that Tesla, and then he had a motorcycle as well.
And he said he's been in like 10 motorcycle accidents.
He's a fucking liar. He's been in one. He's been in one accident.
Like, he literally lost count. First he said 7, then he said 10, then he would say 6. Like, what?
Dude, he's lying. He's been in one motorcycle accident and claims that he said the motorcycle caught on fire.
Yeah, then he walked away like some movie stunt, like whatever.
No, he didn't. One of his friends, I guess that's how they became good friends, but he's not friends with him either because this boy said he scammed him out of $10,000 as well and messed up his credit. But anyways, yeah, they're not friends anymore. But yeah, he's a fucking liar. He over exaggerates everything, and like his thing is trying to make people feel sorry for him. Like, oh, I did this and I made it come up. Like, okay, you can tell your real story and still be triumphant. Why do you have to lie? I don't like. What is that gonna? And then people, oh yeah, you're really this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this boy is lying. Something's wrong with him, really.
Okay. Back to the military. You said you were the reason he got kicked out of the military.
Yeah,
So
I am.
what had happened?
And that is not, I wasn't saying that pridefully. I'm saying that as I'm being honest. So at the time I felt so bad. I felt horrible and he wouldn't let me live it down. So as I mentioned, Sean be talking to like a million people and we had decided, like, he kept like you know, why don't you just say that we can be together, like always whispering in my ear, and then like, we were screwing, and he was inviting me. So this is when he moved from my out of my apartment into the and he was renting a room at Dylan's. He would invite me over, like he'd be like, oh, I have meetings, blah blah blah. um he was really having, long story short, he was really having girls over there, and then when they would leave, he was inviting me over like right after they left, and we were having sex, and it's fucking disgusting. Like, it makes me angry talking about it. um and again, this is why I say he had no respect for my body. So I think, okay, so I got him a iPad on my bill. um and I knew the code for it. I took it. I took it. We had got into it, and I took it, and I left the apartment without him knowing that I left. And I took the iPad. And from the iPad, I had access to everything. So, and if I can apologize to this girl, I would. But I didn't know. I just knew from what he said. He said, so he was screwing a bunch of different girls, and there was two of them. He was recording what they were doing with him, and they didn't know. So this is the real reason. I thought my doing, like me posting it. So I went in his iPad and I posted the videos on his Instagram. Um And the reason why is because I felt disrespected by the girls, because he said they knew that he was talking to me. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, bitch, so you want to disrespect me, and you know that I said, in my mind, I'm like, that we're talking, and you're still gonna, you know what I mean? But this is because what he told me, I didn't know that they didn't know that he was talking to me. Um, so unfortunately, I posted the videos onto his Instagram. But the real reason that he got in trouble, so the girl was also in the military. I didn't know any of this. The girl was also in the military, and her friends were telling her that, the videos are on his story. And he kept taking them down, and then I would put him back up because he was texting me talking shit. So I would put it back up. And then so that is how he got in trouble. But the reason why, I thought it was because I posted the videos on Instagram. That was very stupid of me. But like I said, I felt like they were disrespecting me because they knew about me. But I didn't know that they didn't know about me. The real reason why he got in trouble is because that girl didn't know that she was being recorded.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, she was in the military. I don't know anything about her or anything like that. I just know that that's why. And I was beating myself up about this because I felt like really.
Can I also just say, I know you feel bad, and I think that you should feel whatever feelings you feel. But if it were me, that girl that he recorded and it didn't know, like I would want to know. Like that's maybe not the way I'd want to find out, but I'd at least be grateful that I knew instead of not knowing. Just to add.
Yeah, it's a after the fact, it's a shitty feeling to. But when you're acting out of like your emotions, and like I said, I felt disrespected. Like, imagine if I'm just trying to put it into perspective. I'm not making an excuse. Like I said, I'm right now I'm being honest. Um, I'm being honest, but I'm also going to share the real reason why it happened. And that was why it happened. He said that they knew that he was talking to me, and for me, that is so disrespectful. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but I felt really, really, really bad that he was getting kicked out. And he would, so after that happened, oh, he would never ever let me live that down. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go to jail because of you, and oh, this and this and that. I'm gonna lose everything because of you. And he probably really wasn't, but he knew how to make me feel bad. Like he knew that I felt really, really harsh about that. Um, Gosh, my chest hurts. Um, yeah, so that happened. And he ended up getting, so that is why Sean got kicked out of the military. Oh yeah.
I know you mentioned your chest hurts, so if you need to take a second, you
No,
can.
it's okay. I just want to get it over with. Um,
Uh, Yeah, we only have a few more.
no, it's fine. Go ahead. I'm good.
So, did Sean ever try, or let's put it this way. Did Sean ever try to make you start a business? Or did you ever give him money for a business that he was trying to get
No,
started up? No.
no.
Okay. And I have closing questions. Um, I guess we can end it like, how has life been like since you left Sean?
I'm happy. I'm not stressed out. I'm definitely not getting hands put on me. Because I'm trying to leave. So like, like if things are the right thing to do, if things get heated, is to give each other space, correct? Until you calm down and then come back and talk, correct?
Yes.
Sean would never allow that. So like every time I would try to go for the door, Sean has mommy issues. I believe that he's like he said you're like everybody else in my life. You're always trying to leave me. Blah blah blah. Like, and I'm like, I'm not leaving you. I was like, we can't, like we all we do is argue. This is not normal. And I would try to explain that to him, and then he would just like choke me. Like there's been maybe, I know for a fact at least 3 times, or yeah, 2 or 3 times. 2 times for absolutely positive. Sean's choked me unconscious. It to where he was smacking me. Um, he was smacking me to come to, and then another time he had to throw water on me. So it's just, how has things been after Sean? I'm happy. I'm glad that I'm not talking to him anymore. And I don't have to, you know, I don't have to deal with him and him trying to make me conform to what he wants me to be in, instead of allowing me to be who I am.
And I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry that you went through all of that.
Uh,
Um,
you guys don't have to apologize, but it's kind of my
well,
fault, so.
no, it's definitely not your fault. We get with the wrong people sometimes, but I'm just happy that you were able to get away from him. And yeah, like your whole story is just so,
I
it's
feel
just
like it I feel like it wasn't even I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay.
I feel like it wasn't really a a story right now because how I have to tell everything, but there's like so many like bits.
Okay, so the first question is why do you have any of sorry, let me rephrase this. Why do you think Sean is like doing these lives? Like, do you think he's trying to gain something from it? Because it seems like he's only getting a whole bunch of hate and no support.
Sean enjoys the attention. And I don't know if they're getting paid from TikTok, but whether it's negative or not, Sean enjoys the attention. So once he stops getting the attention, then that's over.
And that's what we assume too. And they are getting paid from TikTok, but I don't think that is a lot considering TikTok pay is not that good. But that's what we were thinking. Because even when he gets his views are up, he'll like take a picture of the views and put it on his story. Like even though it's like 50,000 people in there that are hating on him, he'll still post it.
Yeah.
Another question was, do you know anything of his relationship with Grant Cardone?
He's like I don't. Okay, so no, I don't. But okay, so like any other fan, or if you're going to go to what do they call those things? Where they have it's a big, huge group setting where you go for learning. Like, I can't think right now, so somebody help me.
The convention.
It's kind of
Yes, a convention, right? So to me, it looks like like he was able to get up there with Grant Cardone and take a picture, and now he just like everything else, he uses that to like blow everything out of proportion. I can promise you that it's nothing special. Like, come on, if he had a relationship with Grant Cardone, do you guys really think that he would still be in San Diego? Do you think that he would be on TikTok looking? No, like that's just my opinion. I'm just saying.
okay. So he lied about that too. That's what I've got from your answer. Do you know if the people that signed the NDA that you were saying earlier that they're not allowed to talk about it, but you are, the people that signed that NDA, were they paid out by Sean?
So some of them had different like they had different requests. So how do I explain this? Gosh. I'm sorry, hold on. Just give me a second because all right. So what Sean was doing, he had these people applying like for like loans, like money and stuff. So it like fucked up their credit, right? So some of them requested that he make the payments on their loans. Some of them requested for him to finish off the loan. Like they had different requests, and I don't know what they were personally because the lawyers told them to contact him, but they had to sign the NDA. So they had different requests. Sean's possibly still paying on that stuff right now. Possibly.
Sorry, I'm trying to find another question.
And yes, Sean is I see something about Sean being insecure. He's very extremely insecure. Extremely insecure.
Okay, I have another question. So on his live, he's like to say that he doesn't want his women to contribute to any of his monthly expenses. So did he cover all the bills when he was with you, or were you helping him?
Well, hold on. What you mean when I was with him? In his place?
Like when you were in the relationship with him, was he having you help him pay bills?
No, ma'am, for what? I have my own bills to pay. I have my own rent to pay, so the answer is no.
Okay.
I don't think they're paying his from I feel like it's probably still scamming, but I don't know what he does, right? I just know he ain't working no regular job and he's not in the military. So I feel like he's maybe possibly doing the same thing he was doing and maybe tweaked it so he don't get sued again. But I don't think that he needs help from them with like paying those bills with the kind of money that he's getting from these people.
So so he's not broke. He's actually making money. It's just he's scamming people to get it.
I guess so. The way that it works, yeah, because and they're just paying him for, I guess, because I was a part of what he was doing. Like, remember I said I worked for him, so I've seen firsthand where he's holding meetings and coaching them or whatever, and then having them. It's just a cycle. So yeah, I guess it is a scam. It's a cycle of shit. And then they get more people on to do the same thing, and when those people get on, the people who got them on is getting paid. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm getting lost just talking about it.
No.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, but it sounds kind of like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. So without these people, he wouldn't be making anything. He doesn't have a legitimate actual, to me. But like I said, I'm not there. I don't know if he's tweaked anything. So is can you take what I'm saying and like be positive about it? I maybe not, but from firsthand of what he was doing, he wouldn't have any money without these people. Like if they just quit cold turkey,
He would be broke.
yes,
No.
absolutely. No
Okay.
money, zero, zero, $0.
Okay. Another question we had was, did Sean ever mention anything about wanting extremely young women from like ages 18 to 20? Or was he, when you were in a relationship with him, did he ever mess with women in that age group?
Did he? Well, I don't know what Sean was messing with because he was a hoe. But I will tell you this: Sean needs people. He needs someone that he can control. So I'm 33. I have my own mind. Like he couldn't control me, and that was the biggest. Like that was torture to him. That he couldn't get me to do what he wanted me to do when he said do it, how he said do it. Like so he's going to go after a young person because he can mold her. Um, he's I don't know how else to explain this. He's going to go after young people because they're easy to control and manipulate.
Right.
A grown woman is not going to. Grown women with a backbone, it intimidates him. He's not going to. It's not going to work for him.
Right.
He
Someone,
doesn't. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
no, keep going.
Um, Men. He doesn't. Long story short, Sean's a B word. He's a bitch.
Okay. Um,
Um, he doesn't talk to or treat men the same that he does a woman. Like if a guy tried to fight Sean, he's gonna try to like talk it through or go the other way. Like he will never try to fight a dude ever.
someone else asks that Sean mentioned Sean just mentioned a lot of things, but he mentioned that he has a share of Chipotle and Disney. Do you know if that's true?
No, I don't know I don't know if that's true. I haven't talked to Sean in like over it's gonna be almost 2 years. So things that he's accumulated, since I haven't talked to him, I would have no knowledge of.
Uh, okay. Sorry. Another question someone had is, did Sean ever try to isolate you from family or your friends?
Um, yeah, he tries, but it didn't work because I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm an adult. But like I said, my best friend, it's almost like he's jealous. He's jealous of other relationships. Um, Again, for me, the weirdest one was uh with my son. He was jealous of my relationship with my child, and that's weird as fuck to me. Um, and then with my best friend, we couldn't take him anywhere because of how he acts. He's so like I went to Mexico for New Year's, and he wasn't invited because he just is childish and he acts weird. So so yeah, he
And
tries. And then like if you're going through something, if so like how I was going through like all this stuff, like he didn't like want any of my friends or family to know about it. My family didn't know about it, but my best friend did. That's the only one that I could talk to.
um, someone else asked that um, did he talk about having kids with you?
Yeah.
Was that ever like did you consider having kids with him, or did you guys
Um, in the future.
um another question someone had said, like, what I know that you said that he was jealous of your son, but like how did he treat your son? Or did you even bring your son around him?
Well, like I said, Sean lived with me, so um like he would, see him on occasions, but like he was it was awkward energy. You ever been in somewhere where you got people in the same home and they're not speaking, or they walk right past each other without saying nothing, or but it's because my son didn't like Sean, and Sean was scared of my son. That's what it seemed like to me. Um, that's what it seemed like to me. My son is more mature than Sean. And I actually, at some point in the relationship, I told Sean that, and it upset him. But I mean, it's facts. He's embarrassing. You can't take him. You can't go in public with Sean anywhere. Like I took him on a date for his birthday, and he was eating with his fucking hands and like licking the plate, and then he blames it on his childhood and having to eat out of a bowl. I'm like, okay, well, you're an adult now and you're not there anymore. Even walking through the store, he does like weird stuff. Walking in the store, he has no regard for like the elderly. It's just embarrassing. A lot of stuff about Sean in public is fucking embarrassing. Like I was embarrassed to be dating him. um when we would go out places, like people would look at me funny. Like if you guys see me then you would understand. Right, Leah, I guess.
Right. We understand because we see how the way he eats on live and how his mannerisms are just horrible. So you just I don't know, kind of solidified the thought that he eats. Yeah. Okay, so this is the last question and then the recording is going to be stopped. Was his newfound fame triggering for your journey to healing?
Well, I've been healed. Was his fame? No, I don't want to be a part of that. It's not triggering. Actually, I lied. I'm lying because I watched the video and I found myself getting teary-eyed, but not about me. I wasn't about to start a cry about me. It was watching them, like maybe not Olivia, but Shanice. I feel like Shanice I feel like she's stuck. But she's too weak. So I was watching a video and I was getting choked up and like tears, like my eyes were filling with tears, but it wasn't because I was imagining when I was there. It was more so imagining how she's feeling and probably wanting to leave, if that makes sense. So maybe triggering in that way. And if I could help her, I would, but she's not ready. But because Sean is there all the time, there she's not going to get out unless she takes all her shit, like she's going to work or something and doesn't return. But again, she would have to be very serious about that and can't succumb to his manipulation, because he's going to call her and call her and call her and blow her phone up, and then she's going to go right back, which she already was doing that when I was still talking to Sean. Sean talks to that girl crazy. I've seen it firsthand. Like, I was there. But yeah, but triggering in any other kind of way, no, because I don't care. I don't want to be a part of it, and it's embarrassing. Like, they're embarrassing themselves, especially as women. Like, I feel like it's like they're publicly humiliating themselves in pieces. There's so many bits and pieces.
That he would do something like that. I think that was the last of the questions. Okay, I don't see any more questions. So I just wanted to thank you again for sharing with us. No one deserves to go through what you went through with Sean, even though I know a lot of women do. And it takes a lot of strength and courage to be able to share what happened to you. And I'm happy that people are in here. They possibly could have learned something from what you have said. And yeah, we're proud of you. And I think, and then also the other people in the chat want to say something as well. So they'll unmute.
Wow! You did such a good job. We're so proud of
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. I really just want to say, you coming here and telling your story, to essentially nothing but strangers is honestly very, very brave of you. And I am so happy for you that you're no longer in that situation, and you're now moving forward and doing the best that you can. And I really think that is something that you should hold on to and be proud of, because you are a survivor. You went through things that no one should ever have to, and you came out of that on top. And I'm so happy for you. I really am.
I also want to say something. Can I just say that, like, you are a strong woman. And I know a couple times while you were speaking, you blame yourself for what happened. Never blame yourself for something that's out of your control. You did not know Sean was a narcissist. You did not know the hold that Sean had over you in your life. You are a strong woman who has overcame, and you will continue to overcome in your future. And hopefully this will inspire people to speak out, and hopefully people will take down Sean from this. Like, you don't know the magnitude of what you're doing right now. This isn't gossip. This isn't tea. This is something that can be used to help so many other women, not just Olivia and Shanice, but so many women who are going through DV or similar situations.
And I think I just want to echo that. Like, I did hear you say a few times that, like when you talked about getting on Google and searching it up, and I want you to know that it's not stupid. It's actually genius. Like, none of us are, when our parents are raising us or when we're going through life, like no one's thinking that their child or they will go through a narcissistic sociopathic abuse, and it's, you don't plan for that. And I think like you searching it up and you being diligent enough to look at the signs and compare and contrast just honestly just shows that you're really smart and you're intuitive and that you are very self-aware. And I want you to know that you're smart and you're so strong.
I appreciate it, guys. I really wanted to just I really just wanted to speak so I can, if it would help somebody else who's really more so about the abuse, because I was probably like the worst I've ever been through. Don't, like, after the first time, don't fucking stay, dude. So the first time, I would tell him my thought was, I initially wanted to fight back. So the first time I did not fight back. Second time I didn't fight back because I felt like if I fight back, it's just gonna make it worse. Like, if you contribute, then it's just gonna keep, you guys are really gonna start tussling. So I didn't fight back, but I would look at him and tell him, I would tell him, like, you gonna stop putting your fucking hands on me. Like, I would tell him that. And then this one day he did it, and I just started like fighting him back. I have you guys haven't seen me. It's so funny. I have really big legs. So after the first time, because Sean, like I said, he's put his hands on me a lot. So after the first time me fighting back, he would always try to subdue my legs first because they were too overpowering for him. But don't stay. And sometimes it's hard to talk to people about it. You don't know until you actually go through it. So I can't sit here and tell you, no, you go tell somebody. You tell somebody. I can't tell you that because I didn't do it myself. And I know that is hard. Or I would share, the day that he bit me, he bit me for trying to walk out the door, for trying to leave the apartment. He bit me. He broke the skin. It swelled and I had a bruise. Like, that's how hard he bit me. So don't stay. It's easier said than done. And sometimes it takes a few times. Sometimes, sometimes you'll go back. But like I said a million times during this call, it was a buildup. You'll keep going back, but you really mean to stay gone. There have been several times that I've drove off from the apartment and I'm looking in the rearview mirror because part of me wanted to go back, but I'm like, no, I'm done with this. I need to leave. You know what I mean? So sometimes it will take a few times. But if you do have someone that you can talk to and not judge you and keep you away, that will help.
And I also just wanted to uh I also just wanted to add to that, like, when you do get into a relationship with someone and you begin to love them, you don't want to hurt the person that you love. So I think that a lot of women, um, would try or would think that they would fight back but when the situation happens, it's just you can't believe that they would actually put their hands on you. So it's hard to try and hurt someone that you love. And
Well, yeah, but not after
few
to,
times you realize
yeah. And
it,
not
it
after that many times.
but I just wanted to say, like, it takes a lot of, strength and courage to be able to finally step away from that. And
Yeah,
yeah,
the girls are saying, I hear them saying that, oh, he's not abusive, he's because you ain't try to leave. As soon as they try to walk out the door, that's when he's gonna put his hands on them. And I can promise you that. As soon as they try to walk out the door. Um, he's also broken a glass. He's broken a glass in my hand. Um, me trying to leave. I've got my bags in my hand, and I had like my wine glass because I was taking it back to my house, and he purposely broke the glass in my hand. So he's definitely an abuser. So they don't know because they haven't tried to leave. And he's not no fucking king. He's a child.
yeah, and adding to that, which is why I think it's important that when people are on the live and they're telling, like, Shanice and Olivia to leave, or they're saying, like, well, they're gonna leave you. I wish people would stop doing that because, if they did have a plan to leave, I don't want them to face what you've been through. You know what I mean?
I feel like someday, I think Sean really seems like a murderer. So one day he's gonna eat his own words. Like karma's gonna bite him in the ass. I don't know who he gonna do it to. I don't know who he gonna do it to, or if he gonna play with the wrong one. But he's definitely gonna put himself in prison. So
Well, I'm just glad it's not you. And I want to echo the thank yous. And I also want to say that we talk a lot more about Justin Sean, and you are so welcome to stay here. And if you ever need a support group and to continue talking about this, it's been a few years for me too since I've left a really shitty relationship. And it still always feels so good to talk shit with a bunch of funny girls sometimes. So we're here for you to talk about it or to talk about anything else too.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't really have anything when it comes to Sean. I don't have anything to talk about. That's not gonna bless my life. I'm walking into my boyfriend's house right now.
Oh my God, I love it.
But yeah, like I'm more of like rather like uplift women or just talk positivity to women. I really don't give a fuck about Sean. So if I did like a support group for me, it's not necessary. I'm well past.
We
I'm
don't
well past that. But I appreciate that.
listen. Some of the stuff, like most 99% of the stuff that we talk about is not about Sean. Like we're talking about ridiculous things. It's all jokes. So it doesn't even have to be a support group. And I know that there's other like women your age in here. So just saying.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Did anyone else have anything else to say?
I just wanted to say thank you. I know this must have been hard for you, and I mean, I don't know you, but I am proud of you for coming out and speaking about this. This could be a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. And it was really like heartbreaking to hear the things that this vile human being has done to you. Um, and, again, none of it is your fault, and you got yourself out of that situation. Um, and, again, like I hope that, you know, as you go along this journey, that if you're not, that love does find you, um, proper love, and that you are given a million times what you deserve from a man that will love and appreciate you. Um, and yeah, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
No problem.
I piggyback off that. You know, you're very brave for speaking about this to nothing but strangers, and I think I can speak for all of us, in saying that we're all very very proud of how far you've come. And we're all very glad that you were able to share this with us, and I think you know, there may be people in this, chat at the moment who are going through something similar, and you could have possibly opened their eyes. I think we're all very appreciative that you would share this with us. So I genuinely hope you have the best of lives. I hope you can continue to grow and prosper, honestly.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Also, you're very, very pretty. I just wanted to say that. You're so beautiful.
Thank you for saying that. That's what I wanted to say. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't think anyone else has anything to say. So, again, thank you for
Hi,
talking with us.
beautiful.
Thank
Yep.
you, guys.
Have
Have a
fun.
good night.
Have a good night.